to the second semifinal game, Texas versus Ohio State. Now this was a battle of hey, there's a bunch of 5 stars on the field. You know it's talent on the field. Hey, look, hey, what we call it, band for band bowl. You know what I'm
Man for
saying?
man bowl.
You know that hey, you see the money on the field when them boys play, and that's exactly what happened in that game. You talk about big time players made big time plays. This was a game that I was very impressed by the defenses of both of these teams, like how well these teams adjusted to each other and made this game a stalemate for nearly all 4 quarters until the very end. It took big plays in order to swing this game in terms of momentum. Ohio State made all the big plays. Credit to them. Like I said, like they jumped out early on Texas with that first drive, and I thought it was going to be a rout. I thought they were going to run them out of the building. Texas, though, defensively stood tall, figured out how to stop Jeremiah Smith from being a complete terror on the field. They kept them bottled up. They left it in the hands of all the other guys, and they were able to go 1-on-1, man to man for the majority of that game until the levee finally broke on them. But overall, I was very impressed with that performance. I want to know what you guys think.
Man, I'm very impressed by Texas. I thought Texas is gonna get routed. Sark, man, he damn good coach. He ain't really let the game get away from him. He did what he could to stay in reach of Ohio State. It was a very competitive game here. I think both semifinals were very competitive, but this was very more competitive. It just really came to that last mistake. Jack Sawyer, man, he called game. He just had to call game. Quinn Ewers, man, Godspeed to his future. Whatever it holds, whatever his next form. But yeah, man, Texas. And that's one thing about I even talk to you, Teach. One thing about Texas is they can really adjust very well to what team they're playing. Um, Sometimes it involves they do let the league slip away sometimes at times, but Texas they are one of the best teams that can adjust. So shout out Texas, kudos to them. But Ohio State, man, they just ready. They ready no matter what. They did what they could to shut down Jeremiah Smith. I think they had like 3 players on Jeremiah Smith, but Ohio State is just the better team, and they are the best team in the country right now. It pains me to say this.
Yeah, I agree with that. No disrespect to Texas. Just like you said with Quinn, second scenario, he's been in a situation to either make the national championship game, came up short, back to back years. So I know that must be tough for him. But like you said, Ohio State is it's the best team in the country right now. They're the best team in the country. They got one of the best players, if not the best player in the country right now. And they turn it on at the right time. They turn it on at the right time, and like you said, Texas, like you said, Ace, they were able to adapt like all year long. There were some questions. I had questions when it came to the ASU game, but I mean, obviously they got the job done. But even looking back at that game, you can just say, like, it's not really Texas football. But man, it's just so unfortunate, man, because I think Quinn is going pro. I don't think he's coming back. A lot of people was hitting transfer portal. I don't think he hits the portal, man. Like, if anything, he's going to go pro. He's a junior. You know, I don't know. He might come back to up his draft stock. I don't see him transferring at all. If he does, where does he go? I don't know. Um, but you also have the thing with Arch Manning as well. So you got a quarterback situation right now. So you got a guy who's ready, who's coming into his sophomore year, and the guy who's coming in senior year. So but man, it's just unfortunate. Kudos to them. First year in the SEC, they did their thing. But like you said, Ohio State, they're some dogs, man. They ain't playing. They not playing. Especially after Michigan won. You know what I'm saying? They not playing, bro. They nah.
Not at all, bro. They're not playing in the slightest. You start talking about the guys that stepped up out of nowhere. Not necessarily out of nowhere, but guys that just were able to easily be impact players. Travion Henderson, the screen pass before the half. That play right there tilts that entire game because you were initially about to go into the half tied at 7. If we're tied at 7, all bets are off. Like, we don't know how this is about to swing because Texas played a solid second half even after that mishap. But Travion Henderson being able to break the game open, like you said, Jack Sawyer as well being able to break the game open. These were 2 pivotal plays that swung that game completely. Like, those are 2 plays that if you take those out, we're talking about a 14-14 game if somebody's gonna have to figure this out, possibly in overtime, how they're gonna get a win. I thought Texas gave themselves a great chance to take this thing the distance. When you start talking about where things went wrong for them, it was in the red zone, and not necessarily like they were in the red zone, they scored in the red zone, but once you got to the goal line situations, Ohio State's defense became way too much for Texas to handle at that point. Even in every short yard situation that I saw, for the most part, they had issues right on the middle, and that was their bread and butter against Clemson. But they struggled with that against Arizona State, and they never could quite find the consistency in the ground game. They had spurts here and there, but just not being able to lean on that ground game like how you did in the earliest rounds of this playoff, I think definitely played a factor. And then not having viable receiving weapons. You lost Matthew Golden partial of the way through that game. Isaiah Bond, I don't know what happened to him, but one of those examples of the transfer portal, the grass not always being green on the other side, because you went from being the man at Alabama, would have been the man still alongside Isaiah, alongside Ryan Williams at Alabama this past season, and you choose to go to Texas for what I have to assume is the money, because it cannot be because of the development Texas has done with their receiving core here as of late. I mean, I guess I'm sorry. I guess with AD Mitchell and Xavier Worthy maybe, but even still, I I don't quite understand why you would leave a situation like that where you were actually the guy, and at a point you sold yourself short for a little bit of change that probably cost you a lot more money when you go to the pros. Like, you lost out big time, and not only that, you had an opportunity to make a play for your team, and you wasted it. I mean, they had true freshmen at Texas that were more viable guys during that game than Isaiah Bond was. And I don't want to harp on the guy too much, but Jesus Christ, man, you just wonder about, like you can't always jump at whatever looks nice on the other side.
I get it because he really supposed to be that guy, and at Bama he was that guy, like he really was, and it didn't flash, and it didn't flash that much once he got to Texas. And you're right, gang, like it ain't always green on the other side, and also coaches come in a factor, the OC come in a factor. Hell, you can be receiver, hell, you can be a deep route guy at Alabama, but once you get to your next school, but OC probably gonna want you. Hey, we need you more on the inside. We
Yeah,
need you at the
that's.
receiver position.
I think that also is one of them things, man. People, not all subject, but kind of is. That's kind of like the effects of the portal. I feel like a lot of these kids, man, they don't really take the initiative to see, what am I getting myself into? I'm here for this. And you know what I'm saying? You don't always get what you want. It's not always going to be what it is. And it was dope at Bama. You know what I'm saying? Now he ended the draft, and kudos to that man. Good luck to that man. But you know what I'm saying? You ain't always gonna get what you want, man. You kind of always got to stick stuff out. A lot of these kids, they ain't gonna stick it. They don't want to stick it out. You know what I'm saying? They just want to go see wherever suits best, or wherever their friends at, or whatever looks nice. And it's like he knew he was gonna get a start now at Texas. He knew that, but the play style probably wasn't for him. So I mean, hey, kudos to that man. Good luck to that man. But hey, just wasn't it.
No, that's absolutely right, man. But shout out to Ohio State. Like you said, A's earlier, this is the best team in college football right now. They have the best talent. They figured out how to win tough games. They're able to win blowouts. This was a great test for them prior to the national championship game. That type of winning this type of gritty style, that test your metal. You need that when you start looking at the team you're about to face.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ohio State has a Michigan problem. I thought they was fried after they lost to Michigan, but they just have a legit
Listen, bro. Let me
Michigan
tell you
problem.
something. I'm gonna tell you something right now. I've been a fan for like 20 years, my boy. I'm gonna tell you how this gonna work, bro. Everything Michigan do is cute. You got a little championship, whatever that cute. Got a little dub, whatever that cute, bro. We ain't worrying about that. You know what I'm saying? Get a little win. You know what I'm saying? I already made my peace with it in the beginning. Marcus, listen, I want you, but no Diddy, but like I need you to win the championship. But like Ohio State, bro, like is it they there's a fuel with Michigan. It's kind of different when it comes to Clemson, Carolina, where it's like, all right, cool. Like when they got their championship, it was like, man, whatever, fuck it. For the state, we good with that. Boom. But for them, it's just
Who
like,
said that?
I mean, I kind of was like that though. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, they got their champion. Like when they got the first one. When they got the first one, I was like, all right, cool for the state. Even when Coastal won, they yo, when they got their championship, I was like, man, look, bro, like I don't like Clemson, but like state of South Carolina got a little championship, bro. Whatever, cool. I was just going off for the state, bro. Like, but other than that,
No.
what I'm
To
saying
hell with
is,
to hell with all y'all. But finish the point. But
I
the
say
hell with
that
all y'all. But
like it's a different aura when it comes to Michigan and Ohio State. Like they both fuel each other, but it's like for some reason Ohio State is just like, man, like y'all really ain't shit. Like that's cool. Y'all really ain't y'all ain't like that. Y'all really not like that. And they kind of like proved it too, man. Like I said, they got the #1 player in the country. Like that dude is raw, man. That is a raw dude. He's only a freshman. So, and there's no telling how good this team will be next year. You know what I'm saying? Or to get that's you know what I'm saying the year after that. So it's
Michigan is
like
going to be great
because
next year.
mind you, he has 3 years. And he's not transferring. He's gonna stay. So I mean, like, unless Ohio State do something to mess that up, he ain't going nowhere, bro. That he ain't going nowhere.